Hey guys, I wanted to do a video on, I guess, aftermarket castings for 12 valves. I'll get into doing some videos on the 24 valve ones too, because there's a few things on those separate things than these. So anyways, let's get after it here. So I bring these heads in. They're an aftermarket casting, aka made in China. Just nature of the beast. Even all the Cummins castings are made in China for this stuff now. But there's a few things that I wanted to show. Usually when you buy this stuff, it's just going to have a factory style valve spring on it. Some of them will come with a 60-pound valve spring on the exhaust. Some do, some don't. And honestly, I don't know what the difference is. Like literally, sometimes when I order them, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So, and on that case, I usually throw the springs away. I don't even use them because I don't really know. You don't know the origin of them, I guess you would say. So the castings actually, this is an update casting to the original 12 valve. So it's a 7 mil casting. But I just wanted to go over some different stuff about them. I personally would never use one of these right off the right out of the box. We always rip them apart, clean them, because lots of times you'll find casting sand in ports and all kinds of stuff like that. And I've bought them from I don't know, probably half a dozen different suppliers, and it doesn't matter. I think maybe they're all from the same place. Maybe, I don't know. Part numbers come in the same boxes, you know, that type of stuff. I'm sure there is more than one manufacturer for them, but anyways, what I wanted to show is that the new ones will come with a top hat style seal. This is the seal that comes on them. There again, we throw these away, put new ones on because I don't like these ones. They just, I don't know if there's really anything wrong with them, to be totally honest. I just don't like them. So I think they're weird and they feel cheap. So we put new ones on. But something I wanted to show, and lots of times, you know, the fit and finish of this stuff isn't too bad now. Years ago they were bad. But something I wanted to show, and I actually haven't checked this one yet, so you guys are in for a treat to see whether or not they're. We pull all the valves out, and I lap all the valves. So if you look at that, that's right out of the box at 5 thou clearance, which it's technically still in spec, but the big thing that I don't like about that, because you're allowed to have 1.5 to 9 thou, or sorry, you're allowed to have 1.5 to 6 thou clearance, or 5.9 actually, but you can run, you know, running 5 isn't that bad. But the big thing with these is that personally, I like them a little tighter than that. But there isn't anything wrong with 5 thou clearance. The issue is that this one sometimes will be 5, this one will be 5, this one will be 5, this one will be 1, this will be 1, and this will be 5. So lots of times there's no consistency to it. So that's the reason that we take them apart, check everything. With this one, if they all come out at 5, we'll likely actually re-guide the head. So this brand new head will get re-guided, because that's a little on the excessive side of 5 for my liking anyway. So something else too is you want to also, we pull the valves, inspect them. There again, I would recommend doing the same thing. Obviously, I know you guys aren't going to have a valve guide gauge for most of you anyway. So I would lap the valves in, because sometimes the valves are incorrectly cut. So you want to lap them in, and you can see on this one actually could have been just a touch farther in. You can see where the gray is there. That's where I lapped, where it's not shiny, versus, and this one's a little bit too far in. You can see where it lapped in there. I would have liked that out just a little bit, but there isn't anything wrong with that. I like a fingernail width, which that's maybe just a fingernail and a half, so that's not too bad. But what I wanted to mention too is this surface. I don't know if you guys will be able to really see it. Oh yeah, you can see it. it's like 5 miles of bad road. It's like this, it's a bad surface. So there again, I know lots of guys have run these, never had an issue. I personally don't run, we surface all of these heads because I don't like that surface. So yeah, one of those things, like I said, guys, just, you know, if you're going to use this stuff out of the box, make sure you check a bunch of this stuff. I don't know about the surface. I don't like the look of it, so we always surface them. We usually take 3 or 4 thou off of it to get rid of that. You know, I would, at the very least, if you guys are buying one of these things and it hasn't been gone through, pull the valves off or pull the valves out and just make sure that there's no casting sand inside there. You know, make sure that there isn't, you know, you don't have an intake valve and an exhaust, because I've seen that, or 2 exhaust valves. I have seen that as well. This one actually looks good, but there again, I like to mention it. Just hate to see guys buying stuff, because it's I know lots of guys say, oh, well, you know, I can buy one of these heads for way cheaper than you sell them for. I would say 100% correct, you can. That's the reason for that, is because we go through them and make sure that everything is good. So I would say we probably I'll spend 6 hours. If I re-guide this one, I'll spend at least 6 hours fixing this head so that I can sell it. So you take that into consideration. I charge $125 an hour where we are. I'm spending what's 6 5 125. It's at the end of the day here. My brain's not working that good. You're like $750, let's say, in labor time to fix this head. And then I still have to package it. I had to buy the head, I had to ship the head, and I sell these heads with 60-pound valve springs, new valve seals, gone through, for $1,200 Canadian. So it doesn't leave much meat on, like, I don't make a lot of money off these things. Like, obviously, if I don't have to guide it, it doesn't take near as long. But, you know, it's one of those things I like to show you guys. There's a lot that goes into even just fixing a brand new cylinder head, let alone, you know, rebuilding stuff. So I am going to actually show some videos of like doing a rebuild on one of these, doing seats and stuff like that. And I'm actually, it's been so long since I timed it, I can't remember exactly how long it takes to rebuild one of these heads. But I want to go through it so that you guys understand, you know, whether it's us as the machine shop or your local machine shop or whoever it is, the process that it takes, the time that it takes, you know, there's a lot to it. But anyways, so just, you know, if you guys are buying a Chinese casting or an aftermarket casting, you know, make sure that you're having it gone through. If you don't want to, hey, that's completely up to you. Just, I've forewarned. But anyways, like, subscribe, hit me up in the comments if you have any questions or want me to do a video on something, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.